Yo, what up, guys? This is Killer, and I'm here to talk about how to win Fortnite squads, how to be super tryhard and get those wins, man. And I went real big here, and I got a PowerPoint and everything. So here we go, guys. So, who the fuck am I to even be talking about this shit? All right, I got 500 wins between PC and PS4. I just started PC like a month ago, a little over a month ago, so I'm just starting to get good at that shit. This week, 50% win rate, 9 KD, 66 wins. Let's go. Season 4, I'm in the top 1,000. I got a 6 KD, which is going up. Like, I literally just started Season 4, so. And Season 5 is coming up, baby. I'm trying to go top 100 here, boys. So, here's the general ideas. I mean, the big one. Play for the team, not yourself. Like, so many players that I play with they're great players, great solo players. Probably they probably beat me in a 1v1, but like you put them in a squad, they get all fucking kill thirsty, they go run off all by themselves and die, and then you know what happens next. Stick together. Go back to what I just said, is playing for the team. Don't be running off on your own and getting killed. When you do fight, it's really important that you kill very quickly, because the longer you're in a fight, the more chance another squad is going to come around and murder you while you're fighting another team. When you're in a fight, you got to know your role in the fight. I'm going to talk about that some more. And really important too is don't get picked. That has, again, sticking together. When you go down in a fight, you go from being an asset in the fight to now a liability to your team. You're probably giving the enemy your loot, whatever. And it sucks to sit there. Dude, who wants to fucking sit there and spectate? Not me. Alright, so first thing, you gotta land, right? So my strat is always 2 at a house. You know, maybe if you're really good, you can deal with a house yourself. You kind of have to judge it on the landing. See how many people are there. If there's a shit ton of people, man, definitely go 2 to a house. One goes top, one goes bottom. Your team should land adjacent to each other, because if they land across Pleasant Park, guess what? One pair is just going to get killed, and the other one's not even going to be able to help them. So that's really big that you land close together. And because you're looting the same house, it shouldn't take you more than maybe 20 seconds. And now you consolidate together and push the next house, and guess what? Now you're killing the guys who split apart, and they're screwed because they're 2 on 4. So landing is really key, and sticking together really during the landing is very key. So now you've landed, you've got your loot. What do you do when you're looking for? I mean, you don't want to just sit somewhere. We want to have fun and get some kills here. We're not trying to just be pussies and make boxes. So definitely want to move around as a squad, and actually it's going to be advantageous too, because you're going to kill other people and you're going to get their shit, so they're doing the looting for you. That's the idea. I mean, always stay within a few seconds. Just think about how long does it take when you're getting pushed by a team of 4 for them to kill you? Probably 10 seconds, let's say. So if you're wandering around and you don't see any of your squad on your map, you're probably too far. There might be exceptions when you have a jump pad where you can get a little more aggressive, but like, you should never be that far apart. You always want to have at least one guy next to you that if you start getting pushed by someone, he can come and help. If you are going to split in pairs, you're a lot stronger. 2 is way stronger than 1, because if one guy is getting pushed, the other guy can be shooting at the guys that are pushing him. When you're wandering around, be cognizant of where you are on the map. So if you're like running into a firefight, don't run in between 2 teams. You know, try to push one team from the side, so that way they're the ones who are getting pinched. Don't go into an area like between Tilted and Salty, let's say, where you're going to be pinched, especially if you're not very good. Obviously, don't stand still, because if you stand still, you're going to get sniped in the face. Really be thinking of the high ground, and always be thinking of how do I gain the high ground, because it's huge, especially in squads. If you're trying to push a squad on the hill, you're probably going to lose, even if you're much better than them. You're definitely going to go through a ton of mats doing it. So avoid fights where you got to push the high ground. Try to be the ones who, when you're in an engagement, get the high ground before you engage, before they know you're there, then start shooting at them. And definitely don't push high ground outside of the storm, because even if you do kill them, the storm's going to come in, you're not even going to be able to loot them, and it's just a total waste of your resources. And yeah, if you can avoid, there's exceptions, but never push out of the storm. You know, if it's a bunch of potatoes walking around and you know you're gonna kill them quick, then yeah, but don't push out of the storm. So let's see here, the firefight. What do you do when you get in a fight? So big thing I see a lot of idiots that think they're god snipers. I mean, hey, I like taking a shot, but at the same time, if I don't think I'm going to hit the snipe, I shouldn't be taking it, because if you're planning, this especially holds true for a try-hard squad. If you take a snipe at one of those guys, all of them are going to be instantly building, turning around, and now you're fucked. Now you're going to have to like really fight them. It's going to be way harder, as opposed to if you waited, got close the distance, get within AR range where you can just melt one of them really fast. Because if 4 people are just shooting one guy, he's going to just get destroyed. Now you got 4 on 3. So don't shoot unless you're sure you can get that snipe and get the kill. If you do get the snipe and the pick, now is the time to push. You got jump pads, use them, just get right up on them. Because basically what's happened is you've knocked one, another guy's probably going to go to res him, so now you've got a 2v4, and that's great. So push that shit. When you're pushing, try to get multiple angles. You might have 2 people going down the middle, 1 person coming up the side flank, especially if there's like a mountain where you can have 2 people distracting while one comes behind. I get like crazy kills all the time where I just come from the side and melt the whole team. Know who you're fighting and use your resources, everything accordingly. If the team looks sweaty, like don't cheap out on your builds, go full building, don't spread apart, like really be aware of who you're fighting and make sure that if you're pushing a good team, that your whole team is there. If you see a bunch of guys hopping around doing try hard shit, don't shoot them if you're all alone, because they're going to probably push and kill you before your team can come help. And now you've put your team in a terrible spot because they don't know where they are. These guys are aware, and you'll probably lose every single time there. Don't get pinched. So that goes back to like being aware of what's going on the map, being aware of where the other teams are, and killing quickly. The longer you're in a battle, the more likely another team's going to come up and kill you. Another big mistake that I see is a lot of people get loot hungry, and they'll all like drop down and give up the high ground. And this is really important. Solos, don't give up the high ground to get loot until you're sure you're not getting pushed by another team. Because if you all drop down and then the other team just comes up from behind you and uses the builds that you just did, they're shooting down on you and you're in a pit and you're just screwed. So like, don't be loot hungry, and don't, make sure you know what's going on even after the battle's finished, because there's probably another team coming. Another really big thing is, this goes back to like playing the selfless game. Focus on damaging guys, not on killing them. If you're in a 1v1 with a guy, but you got maybe a second where you can build a wall and he can't really shoot you anymore, you're safe, and you see another teammate that's fighting another guy, and you can get a quick shot on the guy you're not fighting, an easy one, right? Pepper him a few times. You hit someone for 50 damage that's fighting your teammate, that's huge, because now they've just gone from 2 shots with a shotgun, let's say, to 1, right? So focus on getting damage on the guys, even if it's maybe not going to be a kill of yours. So in the end, guys, it's going to level out, right? You're going to have games where you're the one getting that final shot, getting all the kills, and there's going to be some games where they're stealing your kills. Don't let it get to you. You're not worried about your kills that game. Worry about your overall winning the game and playing as a team, and you're going to get the kills are going to come along with it too. Going back to selflessness, don't risk it. Don't get the kill hungry, running off by yourself at a team of 4 guys, and don't get downed. Because like I said, once you get downed, now you've just put your team in a horrible spot where one guy's trying to res you, other 2 guys are a 2-on-4 now. It's just like, don't be the guy that gets down. Get down one of them first and avoid risk. If you get shot, take a second to heal up. That being said, if you get shot once, you don't have to take a mini right away, right? You need to keep that DPS on the other team, and you need to be helping your teammates. So don't just turtle and like start healing, just because you got shot once. You might, sometimes I fight low health just because I know that there's maybe 1 or 2 guys left on the other team, and that extra gun shooting at the guys will really help your teammates. So avoid the risk, don't get down, and really you got to stay in the fight, because the second you get down, now you're a liability. They're going to grab your mats, maybe they're going to grab your C4 and kill your whole team, that kind of shit. Always be aware of your teammates are in the fight too. That's huge, right? Like, know where they are, know if they got the high ground, if they're winning that high ground. Don't fucking shoot your teammate down, man. That happens to me so often with some people where they'll shoot rockets and stuff. Well, if I got the high ground, man, don't shoot me down. Like, just worry about the other guys. Don't get this like tunnel vision on killing one guy. if I see a guy that my teammate's fighting and I think my teammate's got the advantage on him, I'm immediately looking for the next guy. I don't care about this guy anymore because my teammate's got it. I'm going to trust that he's going to do it. I'm going to help him if he needs it, but like I'm not going to get kill hungry and try to take his kill. I'm going to be focusing on where the other enemies are. And I do that all the time. Whenever a battle starts between my team, if I see that they're already engaged and that they're doing all right, I'm looking around. I'm looking for another team pushing. I'm looking for where are the other, there's 4 guys on a team, and a lot of times people get tunnel vision on 1 or 2. They'll chase a guy down and then they'll get into a bad spot because they didn't pay attention. So let your teammates do their job and then you do your job. All right, so let's say hopefully you followed all these things and you all stay alive. That's huge, guys. If you take a risk and you get picked, now your team's down to 3. Now the next fight, because they're short-handed, you might lose another guy. Now you're down to 2. Now you're in a fucking shitty position at the end because you might be pushing a full team that didn't lose their guys. And even if they're not as good as you, if there's 4v2, you're probably going to lose most of the time. And that being said, like, I find that the clutching with 2 players is way, way, way more likely than 1. Like, I'm going to clutch a solo squad 1 out of 10 times, let's say. Whereas if I got 1 guy left, I'm going to probably clutch it 1 out of 3 times, let's say, with that extra guy. So, like, trying to stay alive. Don't sacrifice yourself needlessly, because it's the end game where how many people we have left is really going to matter. If you do go down, it's going to happen inevitably, and you're all alone. You're either a pair, a single, or even a 3 guys. Even with 3, I play much differently because it's now I'm down a guy, and if I push a good squad, I'm going to be at a huge disadvantage. So avoid detection. Look for the easy kills. Like if you see a good squad fighting, you might just say no, I'm not going to bother because I don't need to risk having one of us get down to go into that fight. So look for the easy guys and avoid good teams if you can. And then if they're eventually you're gonna have to make a push, and you gotta wait for the right time to do it. And the best time is when they're fighting another team. Maybe one of them goes down and you can get up behind there, and hopefully you can get another pick and start making it a more fair fight. So wait for your moment. I didn't add it to this, but like high ground is so key at the end game too. Like if you're solo and you got to push up on a team of 4 up on a hill and they got explodes and shit, you're screwed, man. You're not gonna win that shit. So make sure you're the one getting the high ground early in an end game situation, especially if you're shorthanded, because the high ground is everything, especially at the end when people may be low on mats. So try to avoid this situation in general. It's gonna happen, but and if you do get in a clutch, just don't get pissed off when your teammate doesn't clutch it. Like it's hard, man. Just have fun with it. Encourage them. Maybe they'll come through. That's the best moments is when they do come through. But don't also like put pressure on them to win. Just accept that you're probably gonna lose and you're gonna have a lot more fun. So when it's me against when I'm just the last guy, I'm just having fun at that point because it's just a free game. I'm just gonna enjoy it. So summary, man. Play with people you like, have fun. LFG is a great way to meet people. That being said, if you're an LFG squad and you're not gelling with these people and they're not on the same page, they want to play for themselves, man, just leave. It's the internet. There's more people out there, so I don't feel bad if I just like don't say anything, leave a group if they're retards. So anyways, LFG is a good way. I've met great people even in game just doing random squads. If you find someone you like playing with. And like, here's the big thing: a strong squad is going to beat a good player every time. Like you go watch the pro streams, man. They go down all the time in solo squads. So when I hear these like numbnuts who I'm playing with who are like, "Oh, don't worry, dude, I'm gonna go off on my own, man. I'm fine." No, bro. Like it's not okay, because I know players that are way better than you that die all the time. So we're much stronger together, and if we want to go for wins and kills too, then we're going to do a lot better sticking together. I mean, even if you watch these guys in the tournaments, they're still splitting into pairs. They're staying as a 2. So if you're going to split, okay, split is a deal, but like, don't go off on your own, man. You're probably going to die. You're just rolling the dice, basically, and you're hoping that you don't run into a good squad, because if you do run into a good squad, it doesn't matter who you are, you're going to get killed. A team of 4 that's good, that's together, is going to beat you every time. So that's it, guys. I hope this helps you. Give me that like on YouTube. And if you really want to see these principles in action, come check out my Twitch channel. I'm usually going to be running squads, especially season 5 here. I'm going for the top, going to the tippy top. So see you out there, boys.